Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid. Today we have an unboxing. It is a Kickstarter deck that has taken forever to get to me. It's something I backed, I believe, in 2019, and I just got it over the weekend. It is by Annabelle Lewis, and she's an Austin-based artist. And that's one of the reasons why I backed the deck so long ago. I wanted to support an Austin artist. And from the pictures I saw on the Kickstarter campaign, it was a very, very beautiful deck. Right now, I haven't taken it out of the box, so the name escapes me. It'll be in the title, but right now the name escapes me. And since it's been so long, I don't really remember much about the campaign, so I'm not certain, because my tastes have evolved and my practice has evolved. I'm really not certain that this deck has a place in my collection right now, so we're all gonna find out together. So if you're interested, let's get to it. So as you can see, I've cut off the tape and it is beautifully packaged. Look at this, and look at the stamping she did in the box. I'm definitely going to keep this box. I don't know, I'll find a use for it, but look how beautiful. Thank you for supporting my small business. It's beautifully packaged. Let's see, everything is all contained, so we're gonna lift it out and put the box aside. I'm knocking everything over. I hate this. I hate ruining beautiful packaging, you guys. I really do. Let's see. I will use the paper. Oh wow, look at this. Okay, I'm gonna keep it. Look at all the love and care that has come into this packaging. My goodness. So, oh. Look what we have. Stickers and a pin. This is really nice. There's a business card here. Look at this artwork. The art of Annabelle Lewis, artist illustrator. Contact information for those of you interested. I don't know if there are any copies left of this deck or if it's going to be available again, but if I find out, I will leave the information in the description box below. So, got a beautiful velveteen bag. And it looks like a spread cloth. See, I don't remember any of this. And for this Kickstarter, I don't think I paid anything extra. So I think these spiffs came free or as a reward, you know. This is beautiful. It's like a gauze material. It's sheer, but it's not the silky, you know, rayon or silk. That's ultra slippery, so I like this. It's a cotton gauze, I would say. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, I'm definitely gonna use this. Beautiful. Looks like she does have a Patreon. Behind the scenes look at my process, access to rare prints not sold in my shop. And let me know you came from Kickstarter. Get this free pin in the mail. Very cool. All right. Ooh, beautiful box. Looks like it feels like things are moving in there. It's a two-piece box. I'm going to get the plastic off, but look how beautifully it came packaged. Very, very beautiful presentation, that is for sure. Okay, I'm going to move that over. And I'm going to take the plastic off of this, so I will be right back. So now we have the title of the deck, Witches of Legends, an oracle deck by Annabelle Lewis. This is a beautiful, beautiful glossy box. 2 pieces. It does not have the thumb cutouts, but the suction is it's very loose. So you have to be careful because this happens. So if you're picking up the deck, you have to pick up the whole thing. But look how beautiful. Love this. This is all very, very glossy. And it does come with a guidebook, which we will take a look at in a bit. So it looks like the cards are a little bit bowed. They're kind of very bowed. Look at that. But that happens. There were so many things that went wrong. You know, the pandemic hit and it was just one problem after another. She did do a good job of keeping us all apprised, but it is not a snug fit here, which is sometimes good because sometimes you really have to dig into getting the cards out. There's some cutouts here. So there's a plastic tray and it's totally enclosed, so no cards will be falling in. So it looks like I have to take the plastic off of this as well. Okay, so plastic is off, and these are a glossy cardstock. As you can see, the reflection, you can kind of see my phone up there, right? Beautiful though. I know if I remember correctly, she was asking us, or she was basically trying to decide between glossy and matte. I wish she would have gone matte. There is metallic edging, and I wish it was matte with a metallic, a matte gold edge, but this is the choice she made. I don't know if it was a cost thing. And I can't remember how many cards are in this deck, but it's not a super thick deck, and you see how bowed it is right here. It's really bowed. I think I'm gonna start shuffling it, you know, with the other side facing up for a while, and maybe it can get rid of some of that. So what I think we're gonna do is just do a very short musical flip through, and then we'll discuss on the other side. So I hope you enjoyed that short musical flip through. We're just going to flip through the cards again. So the artist chose witches and goddesses from all different cultures. And there are some that show up, like Celine, who I haven't normally seen in other goddess decks. And I don't have many goddess decks because I'm just starting my journey into working with goddess energy. But, if I pronounce this correctly, Amaterasu. Okay, I remember her from the reading about her in the Beneath the Moon book, because I have the Tarot of the Divine. But, some are well known. Athena, Baba Yaga, but she does have a few in here that aren't normally, well known, and I had never heard of. You look at this art and it is stunning. It's minimalistic, as far as obviously the color palette, but the illustrations themselves are very detailed. She did a beautiful job, and it is kind of nice to see a deck with just such a clean color palette. Don't you think? I know a lot of goddess decks are very full of life and color, but this has life in another way. Her skill as an artist, she's just wonderful. It's haunting. It's thought-provoking. And I think it does add something different to what we have seen in the market, because, there is a gluttony of goddess decks, the mass market and also indie. So she's done her own thing here. And she's done a very beautiful job. See, I've never heard of Frau Holda. So yes, and I think at the end there were a couple of extra cards because she hit, a certain threshold for her Kickstarter campaign. Nut. See, I don't know if I have goddess deck with nut, or if I've seen one. I really do think this is a beautiful deck. See, I think this one was an extra card. Pele and Persephone, I think she added in kind of at the last minute. Saraswati, maybe an extra one too. So let's take a look at the book really quick. All right, the book is also a wonderful, glossy, beautiful cover texture as the box. It totally matches the box. Here you go. Beautiful. And let's see what Miss Lewis has to say about her deck. So there's no table of contents. Let me verify that. No. But there is a welcome, and she says, "Welcome to a world full of witches and goddesses of both loving and fearsome feminine power. This deck was born of history nerds, me, an insatiable quest for some witchy knowledge. The figures I chose for the deck come from my research into texts such as the Odyssey, the Enuma Elish, the Voluspa, and the Book of Taliesin." I think that's right. As well as folk tales like the Arthurian legends. There are so many oracle decks in the world, and I want to thank you deeply for choosing the Witches of Legend deck. Whether it's your first and only or part of a wonderful collection, the goddesses and historical figures who make up the deck have all become important figures in my life, and I hope they will guide you as much as they have me. You may have already have a preferred ritual to welcome a new deck in your life, but if not, here's my favorite, and she goes into that. You get reading the cards, you get a spread, the guide for a 1-card pull. You get a triple goddess spread, which includes who you've been, who you are, who you need. So it's a take on the, you know, the past, present, future. And then she has the circle spread, 5-card spread. So you have the situation, the guide, the focus, the hidden force, the potential. And she says, for each goddess and witch, I chose to retell a little known story or insight that I thought captured an interesting nuance to her character. Many cosmologies focus on the inner voices of male heroes and gods, leaving the women in the story one-dimensional despite the truly crazy situations they find themselves in. I agree. And the strength with which they overcome them. Personally, I like to think of these great historical and mythological figures as though they were alive and in modern times. How would they actually react to these hardships and ridiculous events? You'll notice that many of them are told with humor and maybe even some dad jokes. I'm not sorry. So this has her own, she has definitely put her own spin. Okay, so now we just go straight into the cards. And she has them in the book alphabetical, but you know, you saw when I flipped through it, they were not alphabetical. But oh my gosh, for those of us who need pronunciation help, she has included it here because there was no way. She puts a meaning, she puts the myth, and then she puts a place for personal notes. Amaterasu. Okay, so I needed help with that. So there you go. And this, oh, the pronunciation help in and of itself, it's worth its weight in gold. When you're talking about goddesses, other cultures, I think it's wonderful. So you do get a little black and white, you know, the card is black and white. So you get a little inset so you can study this in bed and you don't need the actual card. And let's see if there's anything extra at the end. It doesn't look like it, except resources for further reading, which is good, and acknowledgments and about the author. Annabelle is based in Austin, Texas, where you're most likely to find her chasing after snakes and lizards or foraging for interesting bones. Yes, we have lots of snakes and lizards. Her paintings are usually inspired by her personal smorgasbord of strange interests: nature, history, mythology, and the occult. Each piece has a story to tell and is meant to pull the viewer into a mysterious world of the macabre, creatures, and mythical figures. She especially enjoys finding the stories of powerful women who refuse to be obscured by the passing centuries. So this is fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I'm going to come back up a little bit. I've got my camera arm like sticking in my chest, so I'm like my arms are stretched out way in front of me, so I apologize if I hit the arm. But these shuffle really well. It's not a thick deck at all. Let me see in the guidebook if they're numbered. There's no table of contents, so I have no idea how many cards are in here. It's not very many. I'm thinking it feels like, I don't know, 40, 42. So it's not a thick deck at all. See that bow? So maybe if I were to shuffle it a few times this way. I'm not a good riffle shuffler, as you know, but that seemed to help a little bit. This edging, I don't think it's going to stand the test of time. I think, and I saw on some of the cards, you know, I could see chipping and, you know, rubbing. So I don't think it's going to, something that's going to stay nice looking for a long time. So why don't we pull a card and just see how the writing is in the book, because it looks like it's really good. It does look like it's really good. So let us pick one. There'll probably be one I cannot pronounce. Oh, no. Oh, good. Celine. All right, so let's get down a little bit and have a look at Celine. So you can take in the beautiful imagery while I read about Celine. If I can find her, you know what? She's an, oh no, here she is. All right, so for the meaning, Celine is a beautiful, powerful, and important goddess who seems to have lost herself in an unnecessary and unhealthy relationship based solely on looks and the memory of happiness. She may be a reminder that dwelling on the past only leads to bitterness and misery. Everything passes, even feelings of happiness. Allow feelings and relationships to come and go and remain focused on what's here in the present. So then she goes on into a little bit about the myth. There are so many goddesses connected to the moon in Greek mythology, but Celine is distinct in that she's described as actually being the moon herself. In ancient descriptions or depictions, she rides across the night sky on a pair of winged horses, the lunar crescent shining on her head. Celine has but one great love in her life, the beautiful shepherd boy, I can't pronounce his name, Endymyon. So he is so taken with the goddess that when Zeus gives him the option of growing old and dying or remaining immortal and young with Celine but forever asleep, he chooses the latter. Maybe he wasn't much of a talker anyway. His sleeping body is placed in a cave in Mount Latmos, where the moon goddess visits him nightly. There's a really interesting bit in the Greek epic Agronautica in which Celine seeks the witch Medea, fawning over the loved Jason, and kind of snickers to herself. Apparently, Medea had used her powers dozens of times to cover up the moon so she could practice her witchcraft at night in secret, inadvertently keeping Celine from visiting the name I can't pronounce. But now Celine sees that Medea is lovesick as herself and cautions her. Well, go your own way, but clever as you are, steel yourself now to face a life of sighs and misery. It really doesn't sound like the women of Greek myths can catch a break when it comes to love. So true. Okay, I do love her style of writing. It's very accessible to those of us who are new to goddesses and witches, and I think it would be a fabulous beginner deck. And for those of you who are not beginners, I'm thinking I wouldn't probably use this as an oracle deck in conjunction with tarot cards. I don't know, I might, but right now what I'm feeling, these are good altar cards, a good study deck. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I would really like to hear your thoughts. And do you think a deck like this would have, what's that? Oh, thread, a place in your collection? I'm really torn. I think the art is beautiful and it is different. But I have some other goddess decks, a few. Like I said, goddess decks don't take up a good portion of my collection. I'll have to look at them and see if there's some overlapping, if this offers anything different. Or maybe one of the other ones would have to move out. I don't know. The cardstock is nice, but it's not the best, I think, for, you know, what you expect for Kickstarter. Beautiful, you know, production quality as far as the art. It's stunning. Yeah, the edging is I would say a little bit on the cheap side. It's not going to stand the test of time, in my opinion. But this is a gorgeous deck, and hats off to the creator and the artist. She has her own style, and it is stunning, and the packaging is beautiful. So I think it is a hit in that regards. Just the only thing I'm questioning is where it fits into my practice and my collection. Maybe this will stay and something else will move out, or this will move out. Let me know what you think. Should I keep, or should maybe it move out? Maybe I should do, I don't have very many, so maybe I'm thinking of doing, you know, my goddess decks, and then we'll decide then. So that concludes my walkthrough of the Witches of Legends, an oracle deck by Austin-based artist Annabelle Lewis. It was a Kickstarter deck, and it took a long time to get to me. So let me know your thoughts. If you watched this walkthrough, all the questions I posed, let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, if you found any value or enjoyed this video, please consider hitting a like, a subscribe. I come back often with lots of deck unboxings and other tarot related content. So with that, I hope you are all having a beautiful day, and I will leave you now, and I'll be back real soon. Bye for now.